Well, hello there. Peppa Pig and I are here to share with you our learning so far. My first learning is it's actually quite hard to try and open these and eat them at the same time. So I have my chocolate ready to go. So we're on day 5 of leadership lessons with Peppa Pig, inspired by the greatest leader in our land. But on a serious note, I've actually been quite critical, as have many people, of the Prime Minister lately. Particularly the final straw for me was what happened at the CBI conference speech a couple of weeks ago. So my first learning, though, is actually it's really easy to criticise others, but maybe you need to reflect and learn yourself. And so my first learning, as I've been reflecting, as I've been opening my chocolates every day and munching upon them, is to run your own race, stay in your own lane, and make sure you're doing your own learning and your own self-reflection before you criticise others. My second learning, when I opened day 2 of my Peppa Pig calendar, was to really go back to something Stephen Covey talked about, which is to seek first to understand, be kind and empathise. You can still call things out, particularly underperformance or things which aren't good enough or things which are blatantly wrong. But it's about having a balance of really making sure you've tried to understand a bit first before you call things out. Which then led me to some fairly deep reflection on day 3 of Peppa Pig, which was this. Over the course of the last year, the Black Lives Matter movement has stayed in my thoughts as some of the media noise has calmed down. And I've attended various sessions. I've also been to what was, quite frankly, a really disturbing session where we were trained and talked to about white privilege and what that really means. And it really led me to reflect that we might empathise and sympathise and really listen deeply, but we can truly never really know what it feels like to walk in somebody else's shoes. And as much as we can show allyship, we absolutely shouldn't pretend that we can really know what it feels like to be somebody else. We all have our own reference points and our own lived experience, and that's been a really big reflection for me. Reflection number 4 takes me back to Ed Sheeran and me trying to do sit-ups for the whole of his song Perfect for every day in November last year. And actually, I managed to do that despite the fact that I'm absolutely useless at sit-ups, and his song goes on for 4 minutes and 30 odd seconds, as I know only too well. And I could probably sing you every word of it now if I had to as well, having listened to it every day. But what was successful about that was I realised that what I did was set a stretch goal, but not so stretch I couldn't achieve it. And I actually set it for a clear period of time. So it brought me back to that old adage, how to eat an elephant. And there's a book about this. And the answer is one mouthful at a time, or one slice at a time. So it reminded me of that great point that if you face something that's overwhelming or seems to be a big challenge, break it down into bite-sized chunks. And my final learning point for this phase, as I eat day 5 of my Peppa Pig calendar, is it's funny how I've not spent much time in the shed lately, and I've been absolutely pining for time in the shed. Well, last year when I was locked down to the shed, and heaven knows we may be again before much longer, I was pining to be out of the shed. So it made me really reflect. Let's be grateful for what we have right now and for the things that are right in front of us. Anyway, love to hear the reflections you guys are having. And I also know that Peppa Pig chocolate is not the tastiest in the world, but what do you expect when you buy your advent calendar from the garage for £1?